I am an autistic social worker. I'm also an autistic parent. And basically parenting is a privilege. So you have a responsibility for supporting another life or lives to grow, to develop and thrive. But parenting is also hard, and it takes years of effort and focus and understanding and skills which shift and change over time as your child grows and develops. So it's a perpetual learning journey. But parenting is also shaped by your experience, your identities, your family, your culture, where you live, and your context generally. So parenting is not a universally shared single experience. So what does good parenting look like? Well, it depends on who you're asking and where and when and why. Parenting is varied, and providing you're not harming yourself or someone else, like your child, that's okay. There is no written rule around parenting, and in fact, trends and behaviours shift and change between and within generations. So there's no such thing as the perfect parent. And sometimes our needs collide with those of our child, and we need to work harder to find solutions for us all. So for example, this could be including noise cancelling headphones to manage the sensory impact of your baby's crying, and so that you can respond to your baby's need. However, what is essential is that you understand what your baby needs and what you need to do about it, and to respond consistently each time. Your baby then learns that they can trust you to give them what they need to survive and thrive. So learn to know your child, feel their rhythms, attune to their emotional needs. You don't need to be able to name these emotions, just identify how they tell you what your child does and how they respond to it. Our connections can be unspoken, they can be subtle, they can also be really strong. And as autistic people, we can be good at connecting empathically. We can also pick up patterns and be hypervigilant to change. And these, I believe, are all strengths when connecting with your child. They may not be obvious to others, so you may need to explain, for example, to your health visitor what you do. An example is eye contact. You may find this hard to look at a baby who may stare at you as they learn about you and their world. That doesn't mean you're not connecting. And some of us don't like touch, and babies like to be held. So do you do this in a different way? Sometimes we don't realise how we are connecting. I mean, most new parents don't. So if you're unsure, discuss with someone you respect and trust, such as your midwife or your health visitor or another parent. And how does this connection present? So how autistic people communicate may not be the same as how neurotypical people communicate, be it emotions or needs or wants. Communication can be spoken, or it can be verbalised in other ways. You may, for example, soothe your baby by singing or humming or rocking. You may stroke the forehead, or you may be aware that you need to change your voice patterns. It can be through other ways as well, such as imagery, or being creative, or movement or behaviours that you recognise work and tell your baby something. It can be obvious, such as leaving a room, picking up your baby, or physical stimming. Or it can be subtle, such as a murmur or a song or a blink. What is important is that the communication is shared and understood by you and your baby and valued. And you'll learn how your baby communicates with you, and they do that a lot. And your baby will learn from you. That, importantly, you will respond to them when they need you. And that really is the important bit.